Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we turn to talking about the Marvel Avengers team. Yes, these superheroes are still having something to do this summer, even though most movies and all entertainment has largely been canceled, but there still is a video game starring the Avengers underway and it's supposed to come out pretty soon. And also, they've sparked their own controversy that has to do with taking down statues in America. That's right, there's a statue in this video game of one of the characters, Captain America, and some people found that picture they shared of it very offensive. You see, statues are becoming kind of taboo in this day and age because of current events and what's going on in America. To explain that briefly, we have to talk all about what's been going on, starting with the disaster that happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota. There was an arrest gone wrong that caused a black man to die that sparked all these riots and race baiting to happen throughout the country. Now, there is no actual proven racism in that arrest and that fatal day. But regardless, the media and celebrities and all the leftists, they latched onto the story, spread it across the world, and now we have problems happening all over the United States and in some other countries too. There's been demonstrations in London and other places too. So it's spread to Canada, all over the place. But today we're talking about the US because one other specific outcome from these demonstrations that have been going on for weeks is first, they've been hating on the cops and trying to get them taken down and defunded, but also, and more specifically to this story, they've been trying to tear down American statues. They want to rewrite history and take down these old landmarks that are supposedly racist now, depending on who you ask. I mean, a lot of these statues come from our old Civil War era, and since some of them were related to the South, and the South fought for to trying to keep slavery and stuff like that. That's why they want to tear down all this stuff. And there is a small argument for that. Like, of course, slavery was bad, but tearing down statues illegally and going out and causing your own scene, that's still a bad thing too. Even if you can argue your statue person had a slaveholder, held slaves, or had a plantation or something like that. That's besides the point. Today we're talking about rewriting history and illegally taking down the statues, like tearing them down. And that's just not how you remove something. I mean, if you want a statue taken down, you're supposed to petition and talk to the government and get the city to remove it. You don't just go and take matters into your own hands like a crazy person. But that's really besides the point for today. That's just the setup and the premise that's led to this ridiculous thing to happen with Marvel. Like, this is just an animated video game character. And as you can see by this picture here in this tweet, it's a statue of Captain America. And we're going to explain why this is so ridiculous soon. But first, let's talk about it. The tweet says Marvel deleted a post depicting Captain America because it is not the appropriate time for this. Here's the image. And then there you can see Cap with his shield. There's a big statue of him. Apparently, it's in some city. There's some camera guys or some drones or helicopters riding around. No one's by the statue. And really, you look at this and you're like, how is this offensive? It really isn't. You just got to take in the context, like we just explained, and the fact that statues are offensive. But the next step is, okay, why would it be offensive statue for Captain America? I mean, Captain America didn't have anything to do with like the Civil War or racism or anything close to it. I mean, I wouldn't tear down any statues right now. Like I was saying, I'm totally against it, but there might be some reasons, possibly, but you don't tear them down illegally. And then what is the reason for Captain America? I mean, Captain America is a freaking hero. He saved the world. We got to remember what's going on in this story too. Like in the Avengers context, like Captain America basically helped us win World War II. He fell asleep and was frozen for 100 whatever years after that. And then he woke up and he saved the world again. He saved us in the Avengers movie. Avengers came to be, and there was this alien force attacking us from another planet. He saves the whole world. And then, of course, yeah, let's give the guy a statue. I mean, that's not a big deal. The dude saved us from aliens. He's like a Boy Scout. He's a golden boy. Captain America never did anything wrong, aside from a few little side stories. Like, yeah, there was a point where there was like Captain America Civil War and he had to go into hiding. And it was just, but that was just like a technicality. Like he's arguing with the government about this and that. It wasn't like about him being racist or really offending anyone. And even if he did, I mean, he still saved the world from aliens. He still helped us win World War II. He could still have a statue. It's just ridiculous in the context of the game. And in related to the real world, it's even more silly because it's like, okay, We're talking about a video game. You can't have a statue in a video game now. First, it's statues in real life. First, it's like them taking down any kind of statue they could find. Because the other problem with the real world statue taking down, the real world statue vandalism, is a lot of times they go after the wrong ones and they take down art and just statues that represent like pro-black people, like anti-slavery stuff. Like they're not even really kind of focusing on that. They're not really that motivated by the politics. Really, they just want destruction and they want to destroy our history. And it has not as much to do with the actual details. It's more about them kind of rioting, going out of control, showing their anger, showing their dark side, and showing that they're really the bad guys. Like, why would anyone get behind these kinds of people? The other thing worth noting in this section is, a lot of it has to do with him being American. Captain America is American, and that's the problem with a lot of these people. They hate our country. They really hate the United States. So anyone that represents that, anything that has like too much patriotism, supporting America is supporting racism according to them. I don't believe it. I think that's totally bollocks and totally biased and just negative. And if they don't like the country so much, they can just get out. But, the point here is this is Captain America. That's another main reason they're going after his in-game statue, which is silly. And it's really just showing that this video game's caving in. Marvel is really woke company run by like Disney and these corporations that want to pander to leftists. They're the same people that put up those black squares with the white text supporting, BLM and all this race baiting stuff. And this just goes along with it. And this statue really did nothing wrong. Here's the tweet that Marvel announced they were taking it down. It says, "We heard your response to our recent post and agree that now was not the appropriate time to share this content from our game. We apologize for being insensitive." Now, this is just caving into the mob. This is not good. You shouldn't be apologizing for anything. You did nothing wrong. You just shared a picture of Captain America. I think it looks pretty cool. This is something I'm honestly more interested in the game now. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I know it's kind of having its bad time coming to be, but this is not the way to go. And the response to everything is showing that they did the wrong thing too. People are saying, "Oh my God, I'm so offended," being kind of ironic. This person say, "Hail Hydra." Basically, that's Captain America's enemy. The enemy of Shield and a lot of Marvel characters is Hydra. And they're just supporting that. That's what they're doing. If they take down Captain America, you're supporting Hydra. Manipulating the participation trophy generation is hard. Remove Confederate statues is too complicated a concept. So now it's all statues are bad. Easy. So yeah, that's a great point. That's what I was saying before too, where they're not even getting the right statues sometimes. It's just them lashing out. They're childish. They're not very, critical thinking. And even if you didn't like a statue, I mean, what's it doing to you? It's just sitting in some city. I mean, they're not doing anything. You're just showing that you're emotional and you can't stand this image. And then also you can't discern the difference between a possibly offensive statue and something that has nothing to do with it. Now it's just all statues are bad. It's just this blanket statement that's really, messed up. And it's really showing how far things have gone and how terrible these companies have gone to pander to stuff. Statue bad. It's always time for Cap. Bravo, we needed this delay. For this snapshot is the proof we need that this game is not 60 frames per second as our gaming machines demand. That's another little joke about the frame rate. We'll cancel that pre-order. More time to exercise later this year. Yeah, because cartoon figures can really hurt you. Let's see. Welcome to real life where nobody cares if you're offended and your feelings don't matter. Very good joke from that Whose Line Is It Anyway? Yeah, the image is very happy, but because everyone is all up in arms over all statues, evidently, but best just to wait for better days ahead. So this guy's kind of egging them on. So that is fair. I mean, these people, they're making a video game. They're not trying to be political. You can give them credit. Like sometimes these people just want to step out. It's smarter for it to just kind of step away. At least they're not saying like, "Oh, BLM," they're going all the other way. That would be too far. But just to remove an image isn't like the end of the world. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't, change what I'm doing, but I'm not like selling a big video game here. I'm not trying to appeal to the masses. So this guy's trying to sell some Thanos bottle openers. Disgusting decision. Hail Hydra. This is the guy from Hydra, Red Skull, Captain America's villain. It's kind of just showing the bad guys won, I think is the point. I hope the crazy loons end up going after Marvel, Disney, and cancels them. Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of the end of times. We're seeing things are just going out of control. People are going after things. It's just the outrage mob is insane. And then the other point is they just are never happy. So caving in isn't really the best decision all the time. It is from a marketing standpoint, but in general, like they're just never going to be happy. Like these statues are going to go down in video games, and then it's like statues that are drawings, like everything's going to have to go down. Statues in movies, statues on TV, like everything's going to have to be removed. And it's a lot like their other demands. Like we talked about a similar kind of demand from these kinds of protesters, like saying they want to defund the police, but that doesn't work either. Like we've seen other stories, like I think in one city, they went and protested the mayor even after they already removed like $16 million from the police fund, but it's never enough. And that's the same with these statues. It's never enough. And as Joel here says, they kneeled before the mob. Someone says, once again, proving that some people have way too much time on their hands and are really, really thin-skinned. Yeah, that's another great point. And I think that's worth noting too, because something that people have said about these demonstrations and these kinds of like moral policing people, it's like, what are you doing with your lives? Like, where is your job? Why do you have so much time on your hands? Like, I would not be able to go to these demonstrations. Like, I would not be able to spend days and days hanging out in the Chaz district of Seattle. Like I wouldn't be able to kind of like take all these statues down and stuff. I mean, these guys have a lot of time on their hands, and it just goes to show the types of people they are. They're not working. They're not paying taxes. They're not contributing to society. They're just tearing us apart. That about wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Also, tell me what you think about Marvel and this takedown of the statue, and whether you think this new video game still has any chances. Also, hit that like button to get us shared, and until next time, you have a great day. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about our new second channel. NoBS News has been really ramping up recently. We've got over 10,000 subscribers now, and it's growing each and every day. This is a new extra channel where I can give you guys more content, which includes extra videos, sometimes streams, sometimes other fun things too, clip shows, whatever you like. NoBS News is going to have it there for you. So make sure you check it out by either searching NoBS News on YouTube or clicking the link below this video. Thanks for your time. Have a good one.